We're going to discuss average speed and average velocity. As you may or may not know, as an object moves, it will undergo changes in its speed. If it's undergoing changes in its speed, it's therefore undergoing changes in its velocity. If it's turning left or right, it's also changing its velocity, even though its speed may remain the same. All right, so for example, if you leave your house and you go to school and you drive your car, you're going to start off at 0 miles per hour in your driveway. You're going to back up, you're going to speed up, you're going to go through a bunch of different speed changes as you increase your speed down your road. You may come to a stoplight and you'll slow down, so your speed will start to decrease and become 0. Then you'll speed up. You may get on a highway and start going about 40 or 50 miles per hour. And then as you come to a stop sign, you're going to slow down again. If you make any turns throughout that time, you're changing your velocity as well. So as you change your speed, you change your velocity. So at any given moment in time, your car may be going 45 miles per hour, or your car may be going 2 miles per hour, or it may be stopped and going 0 miles per hour. To calculate average speed, you're going to calculate the entire motion of your car. So the entire distance that your car traveled, and you're going to divide that by the total time it took you to get there. So average speed is equal to the total distance you travel divided by the total time it takes you to get there. And for example, you drove a total of 10 miles to school, and it took you 20 minutes to get here. Divide 10 by 20, and you would find out that your average speed during your trip to school was 0.5, half a mile every minute, 0.5 miles per minute. Another example, and we'll say we're at my house again, and you left and you jogged down the street, and you made a right and another right, and we jogged over to our friend's house. And that took us 800 seconds. We're going to measure this one in seconds. And the total distance when we left my house, let's say it's 400 meters. It's 400 meters to the corner. It's 200 meters to this corner. And it's another 400 meters to our friend's house. So that is a total distance of 1,000 meters. 400 plus 200 plus 400 equals 1,000. And in order to calculate the average speed there, you would simply divide 1,000 meters by 800 seconds. And you would find that you traveled at 1.25 meters per second to get to your friend's house or our friend's house. If we were calculating the velocity, it'd be slightly different. Because velocity, the formula for average velocity, total displacement, which if you recall, means how far you are from where you actually started, divided by the total time it took you to get there. So in our example before, we used the school. All right, so you were at home, and you went down your road, you made a left, and then a right, and then another right, and then a left, and then another left, and then a right, and then another right, and then a left, and then another left. I know it's a lot, but we have to calculate 10 miles worth. Okay, so you finally get to your school. We talked about the average speed when we calculated total distance, and we said you traveled 10 miles to get to school, and that took you 20 minutes. If we were calculating average velocity, we would draw a straight line, because that is your displacement, a direct line. Your total displacement is how far you are away from you started in a straight line. Dark line here is your displacement. And if it's 5 miles from your home to school in a straight line, that is your displacement. The total distance you traveled was 10 miles because you had to go all around all these neighborhoods and everything, and it took you an extra 5 miles out of the way. So in order to calculate velocity, you actually traveled 5 miles in 20 minutes. So your average velocity on that trip would be 5 divided by 20, which is equal to 0.25 miles per minute. And you can see that's a significant difference. All right, your velocity is actually half of what average speed is. Okay, if we're going to calculate average velocity for the trip to our friend's house, we would calculate, and we said that house A in a straight line through the woods is 200 meters away. If it's only 200 meters and it took you 800 seconds to get there, your average velocity is going to be 0.25 meters per second. So you'll see, once again, it's significantly different. So you went from 1.25 meters per second to 0.25 meters per second when you compare average speed and average velocity. So you can see, in order to calculate average velocity, it's displacement over time, and in order to calculate average speed, it's total distance over total time. Now, you may even hear of something called instantaneous speed. And to be very simple about this, this is like thinking like when you're driving or driving to school or walking, your speed at any specific moment in time. So if you're driving down the road and you say, hey, Mom, how fast are we going? She says 30 miles per hour. That's your instantaneous speed right there at that instant. Okay, just think about it like that. You think about the word. It's speed at that instant. To reiterate, average speed is an average of all the instantaneous speeds throughout your entire trip. If you have any questions, please write them down and come ask one of us as we go through the activities and labs in our next unit. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.